Gritty, observant, and usually with a checkered past of their own, detectives are popular protagonists in almost every form of pop culture, including video games.
Assault, kidnapping, identity theft!
Those are good charges.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 video game detectives.
There's a beautiful little thing in here called the magic, and it ain't ever been wrong.
For this list, we've limited our choices to detectives or former detectives that use deduction and investigation to solve mysteries. So, for example, though Max Payne is technically a police detective, since he spends most of his time shooting his way through his problems, he doesn't make the cut. Mind you, since most detective games are story-focused, there are a bunch of doozy spoilers on this list.
Hey, Toad.
My car.
Give me a second.
Number 10. Ronan O'Connor, murdered, sole suspect.
You shouldn't have tried to be one of us.
When he was alive, Ronan O'Connor was a tough-as-nails former criminal-turned-cop, known for his violent police work and hardened attitude. An untimely death at the hands of the hooded Bell Killer leaves Ronan trapped between the world of the living and the dead. As a ghost, Ronan is able to possess humans. He can't quite control them, but he can see through their eyes and listen to their conversations.
Why does this always happen to me? All I want is...
Okay.
Using his newfound powers, Ronan slowly unravels the mysterious truth behind his own murder and the motivations of the Bell Killer.
Stay where you are, dirtbag. I'm coming back up.
Number 9. Kyle Hyde, Hotel Dusk, Room 215. After spending the majority of his life serving in the New York Police Department, Hyde left the force after discovering that his partner had been feeding information to a crime syndicate called Nile. After a confrontation and a shootout, Kyle's partner disappeared, never to be seen again. As the game begins, several clues lead Hyde to Hotel Dusk. Though he's now a salesman, he uses his detective prowess to examine the building, perform interrogations, and uncover the truth about his past and the whereabouts of his lost partner. Number 8. Ace Harding, Deja Vu series. Ace Harding is a private detective who wakes up in a bar bathroom with a bad case of amnesia and a worse case of being framed for murder. After a dead body is found in the bar's office, Ace must work to clear his name and uncover the truth about the murder. Combating the effects of a mysterious drug, Ace is constantly grappling with lapses in memory and strange flashbacks. A gambling, scotch-drinking, one-liner spitting kind of guy, Ace is one of the earliest examples of detectives in video games. Number 7. Ray McCoy, Blade Runner.
You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
This game, based off the critically acclaimed sci-fi film of the same name, follows Ray McCoy, a young and inexperienced Blade Runner tasked with tracking down and killing rogue replicant agents. Replicants are cyborgs that are physically indistinguishable from humans, so Ray must use traditional observation techniques to catch his suspects.
You know how this works? I set up situations and you respond.
Unlike Deckard from the film, Ray is still learning on the job, and his naivete and self-doubt often shine through.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
As you might expect, many of the questions surrounding Deckard's origins in the film also apply to McCoy, whose fate is determined by a number of different endings.
All I knew was that we'd live each day as if it was the last. Put them all together, they just might add up to a lifetime.
Number 6. Dick Gumshoe, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney series. There's definitely no detective on this list with a more stereotypical detective name than Dick Gumshoe. A recurring character in the Ace Attorney series, Dick Gumshoe is the main detective assigned to investigate many of Phoenix Wright's cases. Dick usually lays out the basic facts of the murder scene and presents his investigative findings to the lawyers and during their respective court cases. Though loyal, honest, and big-hearted, Dick Gumshoe is not a very good detective, and it's usually pretty easy to poke holes and find inconsistencies in his accounts.
Objection!
Number 5. Bigby Wolf, The Wolf Among Us.
I should probably go handle this.
Yes, please. Thank you.
In The Wolf Among Us, Bigby Wolf is the sheriff of Fabletown, a borough of New York where a ton of fictional characters have been relocated. Bigby has a troubled past. He was once the big bad wolf, amassing his fair share of enemies.
How about I buy you a drink? about you keep your drink and piss off.
Preconceptions the other characters have about Bigby often create problems for him as he attempts to track down the perpetrator of a series of grisly murders. When angered, Bigby transforms into a massive werewolf creature, usually leading to a lot of destruction and violence. Hey man, everyone's got their methods. Number 4, Sam and Max. Sam and Max series.
Sam! Boy, am I glad to see you. Johann Sebastian here only knows how to play one song.
Sam and Max are about as inseparable as two detective partners can be. Their personalities may clash, but together, their differences allow them to tackle any case that comes up, usually in hilarious and zany fashions.
The psychotherapist's handbook or the lunatic's handbook?
There's a difference?
Making up the freelance police, Sam is your classic detective who uses investigative techniques and sleuthing, whereby Max is a hyperactive, off-the-wall rabbit whose main tools include chaos and destruction, and shooting everything in sight. Okay, well, they both like shooting stuff, actually.
I could do this all day.
Number 3, Scott Shelby, Heavy Rain.
Punk. Didn't give me any choice.
Scott Shelby is a detective on the trail of the Origami Killer in Heavy Rain. Hired by the families of the victims, Shelby is a quiet and mysterious former cop. As the story unfolds, Shelby's motives are shrouded in mystery, but start putting the pieces together yourself and you're in for a surprise.
Never say her name again. You hear me? Never.
We're not going to spoil it here, but just like Blade Runner, the game comes with multiple endings. And no matter which one you wind up with, you'll be thinking about it for a long time.
Listen, when I'm done, I'll tell you everything I know. I promise.
Number 2, Cole Phelps, L.A. Noire.
You're full of shit, Jacob. The truth is you hated that bitch.
A World War II hero, Cole Phelps becomes a police officer in a post-war Los Angeles rife with corruption, politics, and crime.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Cole Phelps' standing in the police force depends on the gameplay skills of the player. If you botch too many investigations, he'll become a joke among his peers. Likewise, if you show good intuition and interrogation skills, Phelps becomes well respected around the office.
Masterfully done, Officer Phelps.
Cole is an astute and tough detective, so long as you are too. Yet a dark shadow, stemming from his time fighting in Japan, follows him around and sometimes interferes with his work.
Our duty is to lead, Kelso. And their duty is to die for your wonderful future?
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
One's persona and shadow are two sides of a coin. If you are my shadow, my persona should have been unusable.
Fitzpatrick didn't give me much to go on. Just the newspaper photo of Malloy and the fact that Malloy stayed here at the Ritz.
Number 1, Professor Layton series.
Storyteller, I'm afraid that the power of your pen is no longer absolute.
Professor Layton, the protagonist of the popular Nintendo DS Adventure series, is a world-renowned archaeologist and puzzle aficionado. A good-hearted and noble person, Layton goes out of his way to help people with their problems, often by solving puzzles that correlate to the current situation. Along with his sidekick, a young boy named Luke, Layton often finds himself at the center of various supernatural mysteries. With his trademark gentlemanly British attitude and attire, Layton brings to mind perhaps the most famous private detective of them all, Sherlock Holmes.
Well, no, that was close.
Yeah!
Agree with our list? Did we forget some elementary video game detective?
What the?
For more hard-boiled top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.